You told me I was wrong about Trump. How's he wrong? How am I wrong?
What you're wrong on is you're focusing on the enforcement instead of on the solution.
No, we're focusing on addressing the problem, the immediate problem, which is stopping the flow of drugs across the border, human trafficking, illegal crossing. As long as you have illegal crossing, you'll have those two byproducts. So how would you address the problem of children being trafficked?
You haven't given me enough evidence to say that that's a problem because I've never seen it.
So you don't think there's children being trafficked across the
I don't
borders?
know. All I know is I've never seen them. I've never seen them. I've never heard of anybody.
Have you seen Sound of Freedom, the movie?
I don't think I have.
Okay, there's more, it ends with the statistic, there's more children in slavery today than at any point in history.
Is this a worldwide thing or a United States thing?
Let's say worldwide.
Then I don't care.
It's such an important topic. It's amazing when I ask filmmakers, professional filmmakers, and they haven't even heard of it. And then they say, well, I've never seen that, so I'm not even going to comment about it. It's like, it's easier not to talk about it and to look away. I understand that. And to deny that it's even happening, like I'm asking you right now. And it seems you're just trying to avert your eyes and say, I've never seen it, so therefore I don't need to contend with it.
No, I mean, look, my first movie, I did a documentary on sex workers, on strippers. That was my first movie in film school, is what I did. And I knew what it took to go find those people and to figure out how to get their trust and for them to talk to me. I've spent lots of time in Nevada.
Will you watch Sound of Freedom for next time you come over, and then we can talk about it after watching it?
I'll try.
You'll be able to find it.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
So, okay, for next time you come, you'll watch it, and we'll do a follow-up.
I'm telling you that it sounds, it has a ring of bullshit to me, because whenever I've gone to Vegas, if you want a prostitute, you got to work hard to figure that out. You got to figure hard to find where the Bunny Ranch is and all that stuff. This isn't like, if there's...
Wait, so let me just understand what you're trying to, the logic you're laying out here. So because it takes effort to find these rings, where these transactions are occurring.
I'm talking about legal prostitution in Nevada.
You said it took work to find?
It would take work to figure that out.
So because this doesn't take work to?
No, you're splitting the hair.
Okay, what's your point?
The hair is, where in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, would there be is there someone who's being sex worked?
Okay, so that's really interesting. So because in my town, my little like paradise of a town,
where in Roxbury, Massachusetts?
So because there's I can't point to a child sex worker in my town, that means I don't need to know about these things?
Can you point to them anywhere in the state?
So because I can't point to any in Massachusetts, therefore I don't need to even think about this.
Can we go and look at the DA records and tell me how many people
That's what this movie literally does. It has statistics that come up on screen. And because it has those statistics come up on screen, it was then attacked by this machine of Hollywood and by so many people that tried to call it QAnon and dismiss it and not contend with it. So
I have seen no evidence of this behavior in my 55 years.
Okay.
I've never heard, I've never met anyone who said to me I was sex trafficked as a person.
Okay.
I've never met anyone that says they're involved in the sex trafficking. And you're telling me that there's a fictional movie about this?
It's a narrative film that's telling a true story. The guy who was
someone made a narrative film, and that's enough for you to believe that the President of the United States needs to focus his time on the border because of that?
Yeah, I think the president should focus on the border because of logic and because of crime statistics, and it's...
Crime statistics?
Do we have a sense of approximately how many illegal crossings there are every year? A successful crossing of the border illegally, we don't have that statistic.
Well, you'll never know because we don't know when it happened, because if we did, we would have stopped it.
But I can use logic. Logic can be the evidence where I can recognize that it is happening. So therefore, yes, it's a problem that needs to be solved. And I'm not going to deny that this is a guy who is talking about the experiences, the things that he has witnessed. You can listen to the guy who went undercover and actually posed as one of the traffickers.
In a narrative movie?
In real life. He was an undercover agent who went in and would buy these kids to be able to save them. And then, like a sting operation. Then they would swarm in and arrest everyone. And he kept doing this and doing this and doing this, and then until he went off to do it on his own to help this one kid's sibling. And so kind of going off the reservation and bringing in people to help. And so he's witnessed these things. And so then they told his story, and he helped write the movie and bring it to the screen.
I'm asking you the question. Who are the consumers?
Pedophiles.
Pedophiles. And what percentage of our population are pedophiles?
Let's say it's 0.5%. What's your point?
My point is that we're getting into the weeds and asking a president of the United States to worry about this issue when the real issue, which would solve it, is to create a simple, streamlined way to have immigration.
So you're Ellis Island. You think Ellis Island, being able to create that, would stop the trafficking of children slaves, sex slaves?
Well,
how would you connect that theologically?
Well, let's just say that I let a sex trafficker in, right? And let's say I give him an ID and a social
They're
security.
not immigrating. These guys are not legally immigrating or illegally immigrating. They're running criminal rings, international rings.
So it's a crime problem then. This is just a simple crime problem. So then you put Homeland Security and the FBI on it and they work it out. Because that's what they do.
Okay.
But this is our society. We're talking about our society here, man.
So do you think that there are illegal, there are children being trafficked across the border? Do you think that's a possibility?
Sure, it's a possibility.
Okay. So do you think it's worth addressing, given that it's possible for that to occur? Is it not the responsibility of our leader to address that issue?
Responsibility of our leaders to tell the FBI and the Homeland Security to go check into this.
Okay.
I got a report, somebody told me that kids were being trafficked. Can you guys go research that and find out what's going on?
Okay, so what am I wrong about? What is Trump wrong about?
He's right. Like I said, the way to solve the immigration problem is to streamline it, debureaucratize, and let the people in, is how you solve it. Because even if you did let in the criminal, because he's going to come here anyway, you just told me that, and I won't have any control of how he gets in here. That's what you told me. At least I'll know who the guy is.
Not if we have a secure border. No, he would not be able to come in.
You can't secure the border. That's what I keep on trying to explain to you, is that you can't stop no water when it wants to flow.
So according to your logic, it's just broken and we can't secure it. Therefore, Trump is wrong.
There's a percentage of human beings that are evil. There's nothing we can do about
So you're literally saying there's nothing we can do.
No,
Therefore,
I'm literally
Trump is wrong.
saying, President, go tell the FBI and the Homeland Security to go and tell me what's going on and work this out. Stopping at the border isn't going
What
to
could
work.
go wrong? Yeah, I mean, how did we ever get in this pickle to begin with?
Well, I'm just saying. I don't. But you're telling me that there's a sex trafficking problem that needs to be solved.
There are international rings.
And I'm
of sex
saying, okay,
traffickers.
I have never seen anything of it except for in the movies. Where you
Watch the
can,
movie Sound of Freedom and because it's an important movie, and it's as a filmmaker, it's also really interesting to see the response of Hollywood to that movie, where they seemed to want to make it vanish. They seemed very nervous about this movie existing. The guy who played Jesus in Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson directing, plays the main character, and he did it for religious reasons because he genuinely believed this was so important. He went kind of on a crusade over this, public speaking events, and they tried to attack it by categorizing it as QAnon, Tide, and conspiracy theory, and dismiss it. It was really interesting to see Hollywood as a machine try and tackle a movie that broke away from a narrative that was extremely important.